Good morning. Hello, my name is Marcus Robinson. I'm a husband and a father of two beautiful children, as you can see. And my story began in 1989. I just completed my last high school basketball game for San Juan High School. Now, as everyone was shaking hands and leaving the court, a man and his son approached me and asked me for my autograph. Now, as an 18-year-old, I was surprised. But to myself, I was thinking this will not be the last autograph I sign. As it turns out, it was. At that point in my life, I had aspirations of someday playing in the National Basketball Association. Now, I can say that God had other plans for me, but realistically, my actions and choices killed that dream before it had a chance to get started. I did go on to play college basketball at College of the Siskiyous, receiving my associate's degree. I also played while in the United States Army. I enlisted in the service because when I was a young kid, there was nothing like meeting a man or a woman who was in the service. They seemed so strong and confident, and I wanted to be like that. I came home from the military in 1994. I remember my first sergeant saying, "Robinson, when you get home, get a job as soon as possible. Do not start hanging out with your friends while collecting unemployment." I did just the opposite. Within 18 months of coming home from the military, I found myself in jail for the first time in my life. I took a pizza from a pizza delivery man. When the police officer asked me, why would someone with no criminal history commit a crime like this, I answered him honestly. I told him I was hungry. I received 9 months in jail with a strike on my record. Now, although I'm a foster youth, a ward of the state since I was 3 years old, I had a stable foster family since I was 12. A foster mom who didn't kick me out when I turned 18, but she let me stay there until I graduated high school. I'm also a very prideful person, so when times got hard, I was too embarrassed to ask for help. I tried to do it on my own, so I turned to the streets. Now, the streets life in downtown Sacramento is a lot different than how I was raised in Citrus Heights, California. By July 2001, I was in prison. I was arrested for possession of a controlled substance. Now, that crime normally doesn't carry a prison sentence unless you already have a strike, which I did. I was given 2.5 years in prison. So you would think that I had learned my lesson. 2 years, 5 months, 6 days later, I was back on the streets. A year to the date after getting released from prison, I was headed back for the same crime. So I told myself this next time when I get out of prison, things are going to be different, and I'm happy to say today they are. When released from prison, I was a motivated man. I enrolled in Hill College. I graduated the Medical Insurance and Billing and Coding program with a 4.0 grade point average. I discharged parole in 13 months. I couldn't find a job in the medical billing field because my criminal history prevented that. This is when I met my wife, Megan. Oh, they took the picture down. Now, when Megan became pregnant with my daughter, Jessica, it was all the motivation I needed to change my life around. We got on the list for Volunteers of America at Mather Community Campus. Once we were accepted into the program, I felt like it was a new beginning. We were a family at last, and this was an opportunity I had to take advantage of. Like most students that enter these programs at Volunteers of America, we have barriers to overcome. My barriers were bad credit, criminal record, lack of rental history, and gaps in employment. I hit the ground running. I participated in all pre-employment and life skill workshops and applied for the on-the-job maintenance training program. This not only gave me the work experience I needed, it helped me get reacclimated into working 5 days a week. Having a steady income, I was able to save money and purchase a vehicle. This helped out tremendously in overcoming my next barrier, which was lack of transportation. After my training was completed, I was hired as a janitor for a private company. Now, without the vehicle, this job opportunity would not have been possible. Of all the barriers I had when I entered the program, securing housing was the one I had the most concern about. But this is where Volunteers of America stepped in again for my family. Being a veteran of the United States Army, I qualified for the VOA's Veteran Housing Program. They not only found me housing, but paid a percentage of my rent for the first 4 months. 1 year after entering the program at Volunteers of America, I moved out with a steady job and secure housing. After 2.5 years of steady employment, Volunteers of America hired me as a supervisor. So today I oversee the janitorial training program at Volunteers of America at Mather Community Campus, working with the students and the foster youth at VOA-NCNN program. Now, working with the youth at Adolfo is extra gratifying, being a former foster kid myself. I can really relate to what they're going through, and also I want to see them succeed and not go down the path that I took. So now I have this great job with Volunteers of America where I get to give back and help people who are in a position where I once found myself in. Now, basketball is still a big part of my life. I am now currently the head varsity basketball coach at Cornerstone Christian Academy. I coach AAU youth basketball in Rockland, California. I feel like I have a new lease on life. Volunteers of America has been such a blessing to me and my family. I'm not sure of the percentage of people who graduate these programs at Volunteers of America with all their goals achieved, but I do know if you put the hard work in and do the right thing, good things will happen. At times I think back to that father and son who approached me and asked me for my autograph. With everything I've been through and have overcome, to me, that autograph is still worth something today. So I'd like to give special thanks to my wonderful wife, Megan, for being such a great mother to my children, being an understanding and patient wife, and a special thanks to Russ Miller, Sean McKinney, and Arthur Sullivan of Volunteers of America for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you and God bless.